to our newest resident, the CEO of AMS and all your partners. We cannot tell you how overjoyed we are that you selected Mohawk Valley, or as we dub it, Tech Valley, to be your new home. And so on behalf of the governor, I welcome you. On behalf of the taxpayers and the residents of the state of New York, we are overjoyed with your presence here today. So thank you very much. Let's give them another round of applause. On behalf of the governor, I also want to take this opportunity to thank the elected officials who represent this spectacular part of our state, and starting with our great county executive, Tony Vicente. I've had the great opportunity to work with you over the last 15 months I've been on the job, I believe now, but thank you for your leadership in this area. It's so apparent to me, your vision, what you've done for this area, so thank you very much. And Senator Griffo, I see you very often when I preside over the Senate, and I appreciate your friendship and your advocacy for this area, as well as Assemblyman Verdizzi. Thank you again. It doesn't happen without incredible teamwork like this, and as a former local official, I'm always going to recognize the locals as well. Our Mayor Palmieri of Utica is here, and our new mayor of Rome, Jackie's here. See where you are. Okay, there you are. Thank you very much. I look forward to coming in and having some time together as well, and of course the supervisor. It is a great pleasure to be back here in Utica. I'm here all the time. I guess it's on my commute from Buffalo to Albany, so any chance I get to stop in here, I do that, because this is a tremendous community. And what we're experiencing here today is truly nothing short of a revolution. When you think about where this area has been in the past, I don't want to go through a long, dark history, but certainly we all know that people would think that this area had seen its best days in the years past. And that was certainly when it was a leader in textiles, for example, and GE and other huge businesses that were here. And over time, they found themselves elsewhere. And as a resident of Buffalo, New York, I know what that feels like. I know what that does to the psychology of a region. I know how that makes you feel, that if your identity is linked to an industry and the jobs that people work in, and when that goes, you lose your sense of self and you lose your sense of community. So I can truly empathize with areas all across upstate who've been hit hard. But fortunately for us, we have a governor who recognized that and said, enough is enough. We are going to have a laser focus on upstate New York, and today is just a continuation of that great chapter in this story. So I am so delighted to be here. It's not just about the 1,200 jobs that we're bringing here, which is astounding. I mean, that is a game changer for this region. And I will commit to you that as the chair of the Regional Economic Development Councils, and I'm so delighted we have our regional co-chairs here today, Larry Gilroy. Let's give a round of applause to our co-chairs. We are going to continue to be laser focused as well on making sure that you have the workforce that you need, people with the skills that are required to be able to step into these 1,200 jobs. We're taking that seriously, and we're going to make sure that happens for you as well. But as I said, we also know that changes like this really can change people's attitudes about themselves and their communities. And as we've seen in the past, what the governor has done on upstate New York, how we transformed Albany, for example. Albany had seen its glory days in the past, but to make that the global center for nanotechnology and the spin-off businesses that have evolved here, there is a different attitude about Albany. Same thing going on in Rochester and Syracuse. And I'm here to tell you, Utica, this is your day. This is your day in the sun, literally. And we are so excited to be partners with you in this. The governor would say, we are going to use the same playbook that we brought to Buffalo and Albany and Syracuse and Rochester and do it here. And one part of this is critically important, is the investment in this. $585 million. That is not small change, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big deal in this area to build a 360,000 square foot chip fab that's going to have over 1,200 jobs, as I mentioned. And this is sparking an investment of over $2 billion by AMS. They could have gone anywhere on the planet. And the fact that they chose this as their home, their first expansion in this hemisphere, we are delighted. And so we will not take that for granted. When you think about what they do, their sensor technology is absolutely propelling our country and the world into new ways to measure your heart rates, for example, or to power your car steering, or something that sounds a little scary to me, that you can actually make purchases without even pulling your wallet out of your pocket. That's dangerous for someone like me who likes to shop a little too much. But sensor technology is changing the way we live. And their products are literally in millions and millions of devices around the globe, and that is not a small item, and you should be proud of that they've selected this as their new place. And also the fact that we are finally having Quad C, come to its full fruition. I know you people there are phenomenally patient. I know this has been a long time in coming for the elected officials as well. So it's finally here. And fortunately for us, we have a very impatient governor. When he took office in 2010, he says, no, we're going to move this ahead lightning fast. And Dr. Kelly Ellers is also correct that we will all hear about it if it doesn't move at lightning speed. But thank you for your leadership in this as well. You've done an amazing job, the architect, the quarterback, whatever you want to call it. You've been the man, the go-to man on so many of these projects, and the governor relies on you and will continue to do so in the future. But this is just another example of how your vision is translating into economic opportunity, but most importantly for all of us, the jobs that are coming. When we think about Quad C2, how that's come back, the excitement over building with Tokyo Electronics is coming back. IBM is back, GE is back, Semtech's back, and GE had been one of our largest industries. And to have them come back here, the governor literally had to go recruit them. He had to go tell them that this is a different New York than the New York that you left. Our taxes are lower than they've been in our lifetime. No manufacturing tax upstate, for example. We understand this. We understood this, and the governor says this all the time. He's willing to admit this, that for a long time, New York State deserved its reputation as being high tax and anti-business. Those days are over, and I think that's what we're seeing here today, a recognition that this is a good place to do business, and your belief in us, the folks from AMS, is also going to telegraph to others that this is the place to be. So thank you again for having faith in all of us here. And I also want to just conclude by saying, we cannot do this without really amplifying public and public-private partnerships. That is what it's all about, because when the governor decided that we're going to now bring back advanced manufacturing to upstate New York, we couldn't do it alone. We didn't have the wherewithal, we didn't have the skills, and it required a relationship that was built on so many levels. But what the governor also said, one way we can do this is to establish the Regional Economic Development Councils, and I mentioned our leadership here in the Mohawk Valley. And what this does is it says no longer will the decisions on funding for state regions simply be made by bureaucrats in Albany or just elected officials. Sorry about that. There's other people that are involved. But it's a collaboration of people from academia, people from business, elected officials, not-for-profits, and they're all pulling together. And in fact, for the first time ever, we have counties, elected officials from different counties on the same team working together, united, to really showcase their regional assets. And that's why this model that the governor has established has been so wildly successful. And today is just another manifestation of his vision, and that is why we are here today, and that is why we're going to walk over very shortly and say no longer will hopes be raised and hopes dashed. We are going to get things done. No longer we're going to have promises made and promises broken. It stops right now. It's going to start with this ribbon cutting, or I wish it was a ribbon cutting. It is groundbreaking, and I look forward to being back with the governor for the ribbon cutting, and we'll move this along as fast as possible. So we don't need any more words. We need action. We need to get those shovels in the ground. Thank you, everyone, for being here today.